Bro, one time in class, I was so fried, and out of nowhere, the fire alarms went off. Bro, I thought it was the end of my life. Like, imagine being completely fried at 9 a.m. in the morning, and all of a sudden, you just hear all these fire alarms going off. I thought it was sirens, bro. I thought the Russians finally had enough and they were about to nuke us, bro. I was actually tripping the fuck out. You see, when the fire alarms went off, everyone was dreading the idea of even going outside. Like, imagine it's 9 a.m. in the morning on a cold winter, and you have to get in a single file line and walk outside. Like, you're just sat there marching to your misery. Like, it was like Germany in the 1940s all over again. I remember looking around and my classmates just looked pissed. You see, they were probably just annoyed, but for me, it was like the end of my life, bro. I was paranoid. So I guess in a way it was kind of similar to the 1940s. But let's go back to the beginning of the story, because it goes back a few months. You see, I'd never gotten high in school before, so I was actually academically mindful, you know what I mean? Like, having immigrant parents makes you locked in on your schoolwork, because if you start getting bad grades, bro, you are catching an ass beating. Like, honestly, bro, as an immigrant, the second you get a B, your mum's whipping out the slippers and start uppercutting your ass cheeks, bro. Asian parents do not play when it comes to grades. But anyway, back to the story. You know those people that smoke in bathrooms? Like, I'm pretty sure every school has those, like, cool kids who smoke in school, right? Cool with quotations. Like, you just walk into the toilet because you need a piss, but you can't see shit because of all the smoke. And out of nowhere, you start seeing unicorns because of all the smoke. Anyway, some of my friends were like that. They just used to smoke in the school toilets. Like, bro, you're at school. There's no way you can't just wait for after school to get high. But I generally think, you know, being teenagers, they just like the thrill of smoking in school. But I'll be honest, seeing them in class with their eyes damn near shut, laughing at things that aren't even funny, it made me want to start kind of getting high as well. Like, fuck what Mr. Johnson has to say about Shakespeare. I want to get as fried as these guys laughing at shoelaces or whatever they're laughing at. With that being said, I started to develop a bad habit of getting zooted in class. Here was my schedule. I would get to school around like 8:30, go to the toilet in the middle of class, you know, blaze it up with some friends when someone was guarding the toilet doors looking out for teachers, and then we'd all go back to class like nothing happened, you know what I mean? You know, at the start, I was kind of paranoid, assuming that everybody knew I was fried, but after doing it consistently for a couple of weeks, I had an excuse for every scenario. For example, if the teacher asked me why it took so long in the toilet, I would just tell him that I had a stomach problem. I was chatting absolute shit, straight out of my ass. But the teachers believed me, you know what I mean? And if someone asked me why my eyes were so red, I would just tell them that I had like a late night sleep or I was tired. And surprisingly, that excuse worked every time. I was just known as the guy that barely slept because he's up all night playing games. I mean, a few teachers did make jokes about me looking high, because I probably did look so high. But you know, I would just laugh it off like, haha, nah, I'm just tired. I'll be so honest though, bro. When I was fried, school started becoming fun again. Like, even when I was sat in classes, I would actually start paying attention to the class. I remember one time, my history teacher was sat there talking about Genghis Khan and how he took over Asia. And I swear to God, I was sat there envisioning a whole movie in my head about Genghis Khan's come up. I wasn't always sat there nerding out though, I'll be honest, bro. Like, when I was sat there fried with my friends, everything just became 20 times funny. Like, even people that I don't normally talk to just started becoming funnier. Yeah, I mean, I definitely did start getting into more trouble, but I don't regret it one bit. Like, what am I gonna remember in the future? Sitting down in silence and reading books, or actually having good times with my friends in class? I mean, shit, I might regret it in the future, but who cares, bro? That's a problem for future me. Me in the present still remembers those days in English, bro, and I love those memories. But yeah, man, looking back at school, it wasn't really that bad. Do you know what I mean? Like, I remember when I was young, I used to hate going to school. But now that I think about it, it was like, what, 7 hours a day you just get to have fun with your friends? Like, sure, there was homework and detention and teachers, but even that was kind of fun to deal with. Do you know what I mean? Now that I'm older, it's just like work. You have to pay the bills. You can't even get into fights. The one thing I miss the most about school is probably getting into fights without any repercussions. Bro, when you're an adult, you can't really get into fights. You go to prison, bro. There's actually like repercussions. I don't know, man. I feel like I just took school for granted. Now, talking about this story's got me reminiscing about school, bro. Let this be a message to my viewers right now, bro. If you're still in school, enjoy it, bruv.